Hey guys, how you doing? Going to carry on with this not speedrun. We're rated 817 now. And we're going to... Oh, opponent's rated 660. Okay. So we play e5 against e4. And we've got a Vienna. Superb. And a Vienna gambit. Opponent knows his opening. He's played the first moves very quickly. He should take here. We take back. Now I'm seeing loads of Paulsons. I'm going to make a video on a Paulson. I've won 2 games against the Paulson today. He could take here. Okay, so this knight can simply be pinned. Then if he takes, I take. I'm attacking the pin piece, but he can counterattack with h3. I think that really does mess up his structure a bit, though. If I take, he can take with either pawn. It also messes up his pawns. What should we do? What's his principle? This pawn is defended. Let's pin him. If he takes here, we take back. Okay, good. We can take here and attack the queen, and then retreat the bishop. If he takes with this pawn, this is under attack but defended by our queen, so that's okay. We could see if he's in the mood for a double kick. I don't know. Well, I've got a nice counterattack here as well, haven't I? Look at that. Make the rook move. He loses castling rights. My bishop's then still on prise. Rook will probably go here. So he's lost kingside castling rights. I don't know. I don't know. What's best? What is best? Let's see if he wants to double kick. Mess up his pawns even more. I still have this move. Then he's got this. You can just take here, but then this puts pressure on the pinned knight, so he has to double kick them. A Vienna game main line, apparently. Six moves in, and we've played quite a few moves that aren't developing. I've got the immediate c6. Can't see a problem with that, really. Comes with tempo. Bishop has to move. He retreats to some of these squares. This is okay. It takes the square away from my knight, but I've got ideas of short castles anyway. This pawn's effectively pinned. I could play knight d7 and attack it. Again, kind of forcing this. Takes. Queen takes is the better move, I think. I've got a check on queen h4 check. And the queen can't block because of my knight. My knight guards both of those squares. So if takes queen here, that doesn't even work because I take again with check, forking queen and king. That's kind of interesting. He takes with a pawn. Takes with a pawn. I have this and the queen can't come out in any way. The king absolutely has to move. So I kind of like that. There, let's assume queen takes, because it's the better option. This. Kind of like that idea. Let's play it through again. Take knight. Queen takes. Queen h4 check. There's no blocking. This just loses a pawn. Let's say queen takes queen, knight takes queen. We've won a pawn. He could simply take here, recapture the pawn, puts pressure on the knight. He has to double kick. I come back here. But first he's got this, actually. I mean, this is the main problem. If he takes there, I don't know. If he takes there, do we just take the knight or do we take the bishop? We've still got the threat against the other piece, either way. I think we'll probably take the knight. Because he's got two problems then, actually. Yeah, so this isn't really playable, is it? So we take the pawn, we're attacking this knight twice, this bishop's hanging. So if he takes, we take, he has to counter-attack again, but then he's still got the problem after we move the bishop of having a pawn on here attacking this knight. There you go. Okay, so do we go for this idea? Takes, queen h4 check. Yeah, let's do it. I like it. This isn't playable. That's the only move. He's in check, he has to get out of check. The only ways to do it are this or moving the king. Okay, so do I take with the knight or the queen? Important question. If I take with the queen, it's check, and he's basically forced to trade queens. So that queen has to take, we take, attacking the rook. Rook moves. Knight could come back, maybe there. That's not bad. And he's got very bad bishop here as well, by the way. Or knight takes, with the threat of, well, we attack the rook, for one thing. But we're also threatening whatever we do with the knight comes with a discovered check. So there, let's say rook here. That doesn't work because king takes and gets out of both issues. But we can just take, hang on, take, knight's on here, rook here, say. I know, what do you think? What do you think? Taking with the queen forces the queens off, but we're a pawn up. Taking with this, rook here. Win a pawn either way, it's kind of fairly equal, I think. So the queen's undefended and under attack. He has to trade now. Has to trade. There we go. We're attacking the rook. I think the rook's going to come here, but then I think I'll probably drop back to f5. It's a bit of an odd square, but do we have any checks? No. It'd be nice to play like my bishop to here, something like that, but that's not on the cards right now. I can't defend with the pawn in time. So the knight has to retreat. If I come back here, we could end up with a trade. This is also possible. Now my main strategic idea at this point would be to try and stop my opponent from castling. So here, maybe here. He's going to want to bring a pawn out, develop his bishop and then castle, which puts a rook on here. King on here, rook on here. I'd love to get my knight to this square. So 1, then to here. And if he castles, maybe that, but this knight guards that square, so I need to get rid of that knight first. I can push d4. No, I can't if my knight's on that square. So many things to think about. My bishop's kind of tied down a little bit, although my knight does presently defend g7. I might even fianchetto and short castle. There are 2 semi-open files down the king side, which is a potential issue. Okay. That's a very peculiar move. I'm inclined to go this, which again is very unconventional. I can't go here because knight takes, but I've got two routes to that square. That would fork king and rook. Is it a good move though? Well, it's definitely a threat. Now, how can he get out of it? He could put rook there, doesn't work because I take it, right? So what does he do? He has to put his rook here. Then I can come in and make his king move. I kind of like that. Very unprincipled opening, guys. This is not the way you should play. But my opponent is offering me a tactical opportunity. What is that opportunity? Well, I want to stop him from castling. If I stop him from castling, bad bishop, I am better. This is even a thought. If he moves forwards, I can take... Oh, hello. Right, okay. Interesting. That's kind of begging, isn't it, to be played? Yes, it hangs this pawn, but at the same time, his knight hangs, so there's no checks. So I'm threatening to take the knight and then play a fork. That's the issue. You can defend the knight. I'll take it anyway, mess up his pawns, then fork him. So, yes, you should develop your pieces, you should control the centre, etc., etc., unless there is an immediate tactical threat that needs to be dealt with, or a tactical opportunity that begs to be dealt with. Huh. Interesting move. If I take here, he has an option of two pieces, right? That was a good resource. I did not see that at all. If I take the knight, he takes knight, I win a pawn, and we're up 2 pawns. I take the knight, rook takes, oh dear, then I fork. See? Calculation. You take this, you're down 2 pawns. And you've got a bad bishop. I have no light squared bishop, because I've become embroiled in tactical trade foolery. Bishop defends his pawn, that's nice. But my general idea is probably develop the knight and then maybe long castle. I'd still want to stop him from castling there. Now he can't fianchetto because that bishop, that rook, but pawn, b2 pawn is pinned. He moves that, loses his rook. Not good. He does this. Ooh, hello. Okay, I see that. I see that. All right, we're not immediately worried about the pawn, so maybe what I want to do is develop my knight, yeah? That isn't hanging, the bishop defends. The bishop's doing a great job on this diag, yeah? Thinking still probably long castles. Use my pawns, right? I've got a bit of an open goal here because of his lack of pawnage up there. Okay, let's just pull back. Rook's the only defender of this pawn. Note to self. I want to do this. I want to get a rook on e8 if possible. And stop the bugger from castling. Okay, now he's preparing to castle on the next move, but it does hang a pawn, doesn't it? He's just hung a pawn. He's blocked the rook's defense of d4. Has he not? Also attacks this. So if I take and he castles, he's got a rook on here attacking my bishop. My bishop can then just pull back. What's wrong with this picture? Nothing. He kind of has to castle. I'd love to do this, but bishop just takes me. So this castles, hits bishop, bishop retreats to there. Then I get to castle next move. I'm up 3 pawns. And that should be quite good. Okay, so my bishop is under attack. f6 just begs to be played, I think. It's I I need to defend this pawn anyway. I mean, I could counterattack the rook, but that, again, hangs this pawn. Again, through the same reason. I block my own defence. You don't want to do that. So I'm going to play my bishop back here. Intention is to castle. I could still go either way, but I don't see any great reason. I think that the lack of white pawns here means that white has open lines pointing at this side of the board. Okay, so this means I can't castle immediately. I can just wriggle the king out of the way. That was a decent move, though. So you're not allowed to castle out of check. If I come here, I pin my bishop, which could theoretically be attacked. Okay, so I think it's a case of now moving kingy. Probably over this side of the board. Maybe try and get to b7. I can't block with the knight because it's attacked twice. So let's move the king. I just need to find a way to use my massive pawns to win the game. Yes, you can win the game with pawns. Maybe I should move the knight, maybe get the king here. Thinking endgames, you know, there's no queens on the board. So maybe getting my king here to cover these entry penetration squares, you know. Ooh, right, so he's got to find now this move. He has got to find that move. There we go, good. He's doing well there, the boy. Okay, do we propose a trade of rooks? Try and contest that open e-file? Actually hangs this pawn, doesn't it? Or just king d7, then centralize. Hit the rook, can't go there or there or there. Rook retreats. Is anything gained? Not really. Apart from moving this pawn slightly. I could just do this and then centralize. I kind of like this move, but am I worried about bishop coming in here? Should I play this to neutralize the bishop? Maybe that's a good idea. Could drop this guy back at some point. I've now moved my king, so I can't castle. So my opponent managed to castle in the game, and I did not. Ooh, hello. You're coming in to attack my knight, are you? You cheeky bugger. Okay, this looks kind of rational. Lift the king to attack the bishop. Can't come in here, you know. So my pawns are doing a good job at annoying this bishop. This bishop's currently got the freedom of the city, as does mine, because of the predominantly light squared pawn chain, right? So both dark squared bishops are able to move pretty freely. This guy has kind of improved himself by going back here, but I think the move g6 also dampened his spirits a little bit. So I'm thinking here, lifting the king to d7 anyway, centralize my rooks, or one of them. Try and just trade down now. He does also have the bishop pair going into an ending, which could be an advantage to him, but I'm 3 pawns up. This is the point. Oh, hello. I come here, you take, I take. This is defended. I think I'd like to get getting my king on a light square as well kind of gives it some protection, again because of the light square pawn structure. So it means this bishop is a lot weaker and a lot less able to annoy me. If he takes, I'm just going to take, I think. Okay, so he's done one. I could just push on here, actually. So if I trade off Well, he's got rook takes. Open lines abound then. Takey. Rook d1, a d1. Get my king here. King here is quite, it's not bad, but then this pawn push, it's kind of a passer, isn't it? Well, it's not kind of a passer at all. It absolutely is a passer. And I can defend it. I could, shift these pawns onto dark squares, maybe. I think rook a d1, king c8 probably is the plan. What's the point in that? Explain this to me. Ooh, notice with the bishop moving there, I think we could trap the rook here. I think we do trap the rook. I missed that. When did I miss it? Okay, so his bishop retreated here, right? And this is the importance, and I say this so many times in lessons, of taking this inventory of everything that changed with a move. It looks like piece moved from square to square, right? It's not ever the case. Right? Things become possible, impossible, less likely. Things become defended, undefended, trappable, for example, right? And I missed that. So even at the immediate h5 here, can't go there because of bishop, can't stay where he is because of pawn, can't go there because of knight, can't go there because of pawn, can't go there because of bishop, yeah? That was immediately on. And I missed it until I moved later, and now we can have a rook. What's not to like? Okay, really interesting position now. We have a situation where we have no bishops, right? I'm up in exchange. I've got two rooks and a knight. Opponent has one rook and the bishop pair. So, what do we do? This would be bad because it blunders this pawn. I'm really inclined to get a rook to e8, and I think it should probably be this one. I can't play my rook there immediately. Yep. See, just before I drop the piece, I'm doing a quick scan of the board. It's not a bad placed bishop there, but this is a serious issue potentially for. I think this is quite good as well. Actually, double attacks the bishop. My opponent really doesn't want to lose his rook. I mean, the bishops are powerful. They can zip all around the board. But two bishops against a knight and a rook. Okay. So I can't push that again because it still hangs this pawn. But it is defended by the knight. That's not a biggie. Still, that just gives the exchange back, and there's no reason whatsoever. I've got this, maybe. See, knight defends. Knight's quite busy there. But this... just kind of win some space and push the bishops back, but create a backwards pawn here. That... where's he going to go? He's only got 3 squares. This knight moves, this bishop hangs, isn't it? So I still actually have this as an idea. Could come here with the double attack on the bishop. I could come here and hit this pawn. That's quite good, isn't it? There, he can't give check with the bishop because the bishop gets took. I like that. There's a potential check here. This pawn's hanging because it's isolated and not protected by a piece. An isolated pawn, by definition, can only be defended by a piece. Cock. Okay, I move my king here. Ooh, do we fall for this then? Do I have to play this instead? I mean, I'm threatening a fork on king and rook here. I've completely missed that. What is undefended by that move? Here, okay. So he can't play that. He can't play that. He can't play that. He's kind of out of checks. I'm threatening this pawn here, and I'm threatening, much more importantly, a king-rook fork, winning another exchange. Opponent is playing very, very well for 660. So I think if I put this into a neutral analysis board, I don't really like the idea that that chess.com uses its understanding of your present rating to say this is how well you played, because how well you played is surely an absolute. Yeah, look, he's spotted the fork. He's only gone and spotted it. He's also setting up this, the swine. So I'm seriously considering that. Oh, actually, also the knight is now hanging. So do we just take the pawn? I take the free pawn. He moves his rook here. I step out the way. Forcing a trade of rooks is a great thing. Here, I don't know about like this. I don't really know if I want to put my head in the lion's mouth. If he does this, I think just trying to, I don't know. These bishops are potentially a very, very dangerous double act. So if I get the chance to trade my knight for one of those bishops, I'm really happy. This does not bother me too much. I think I'll probably just come down here. Again, we're defending well against the light squared bishop, so light squared checks are really unlikely. It's the dark squared, this guy we have to worry about, this dark horse. Well, he's not a horse. I know he's a bishop. This is also a move that is defended by the knight, you see. That's a possible. I'm +5 right now. Up an exchange and 3 pawns. But that's all for naught if you get checkmated. So I'd love to put my king here. That's where I want to put him. Get him to safety. If my opponent doesn't check me, I'll oh, hello. Right, now what's your plan, you cunning swine, you? I think I've got time to hide away in here. No. Does he want to do something like this? If I do this, check there simply doesn't work. We've really neutralised the bishop a little bit, haven't we? Here, can give check here, doesn't matter, I just run away. On 6 minutes 19, so I need to make moves. That doesn't work. It's a tussle. Here I can actually block with the rook. And I kind of like that idea. What if he comes down here though? I could do the same thing. And this, that, no, knight takes, that's okay. See, if I move my king here, he can just drop his rook down. This pawn's defended, this one isn't, and I can't put my rook there to defend. I can't put my rook there either. So I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do this idea. Oh, I can also push b6. That's another way to do it. Actually, that hangs this pawn to the bishop, which comes with an attack on the rook. Crikey. Crikey O'Reilly. He's finding tactics. I'm assuming he's finding tactics. Can bring my knight back, hit this bishop, defend the rook, put the knight on a square. It's at least, well, it's protected by the king at this point in time. Right, wow. You're going for this, are you? Takes, rook here. Bishop here, skewers the king. No, I have g5. Okay, I think, just on principle, yes, I know I'm giving him a passed pawn, but I reckon I can take out that pawn. My knight can come back. This doesn't work, thankfully. I'm probably going to come here with my king. My king is much happier on the light squares right now. I could even put my rook on d7. for that reason, that we've eliminated all these light squares. Okay, do I want to bring the knight back now? I think so. That pins it. And I'd kind of have to step out the pin somehow. Oh, that pins it but drops the pawn, which I think would be losing. This really is kind of his only hope right now. Bloody good game though, isn't it? Thoroughly enjoyable. Okay. That hits the pawn but loses the knight. Now, I'm just going to play this move instinctively. That doesn't work. Falls to knight takes. I want to shuffle my king away, I think. That's a move. I'd love to go there and attack the pawn. I just can't. Okay. How else can I attack the pawn? From there. So that'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4. Bit clunky, but 1, 2 with check, 3. If I put my knight there, he's going to do this. Does it really matter? It's not like he can attack it with a pawn or anything, is it? It kind of pins the knight, 'cause, you know, it's protecting the rook. Here. Push, push. What a good game. What a good game. Not to hand it to my opponent, he's found some very good resources. Knight here comes with check. No, it doesn't. I want to attack it from here, really. So this. Again, that doesn't work because I've got g5. That comes with check and double attacks the pawn. So that's actually technically a fork. Oh, it also forks the bishop. Forks everything. Right, well this does the same. Nothing changes. Right, yeah, it's not check. I mean, check would have been even better because then he has to move the king, and then I've got the option of having the bishop, which I probably have done, to eliminate the bishop pair and then come after this pawn, which is now stuck on a dark square because of rook d7. And if I can eliminate the bishop... You did not just do that. Do I come here? I mean, here I'm kind of worried about this. Or am I? I don't know. Cheeky sod. Right, I've got 2 legal moves. There he can just kind of repeat, but then I can come here, attack me again. I don't know. Okay. Here, I think we should be all right. I mean, that is annoying, seriously annoying. I might even trade my rook for a bishop and a pawn, because I'm then 4 pawns up with a 1 bishop versus 1 knight finish. It should be good. 1 bishop is a lot weaker than half of 2 bishops in an ending. Okay, I think that's possibly his worst move, because now I can simply take here, but then this, right? So maybe it wasn't that bad a move. Maybe I attack this bishop and then this. That undefends the pawn, yeah, if the bishop moves. If he pins the knight, doesn't matter, just take the bishop check. And then the pawn. That's cool. So I think his calculations run out on him there. But I tell you, this is no 660. He's playing decent chess. And I'm enjoying it very much indeed. Okay, now G5 comes a check. I can now actually just have the pawn. The pawn is mine anytime. I'm kind of inclined to push up. See where the king goes. He's got two moves, really. This one comes a check after I take the pawn. Check. And now I think we are winning. This hits the bishop. Moving here falls to a discovered check. He's got many options. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I think what we do is discover check, win the bishop pair, and the game. See, some moves I think a lot about, and some moves just seem very natural. And eliminating the bishop pair in an ending when you're up an exchange and a bunch of pawns is a no-brainer. Okay, take. Now he's going to have isolated pawns as well, which means they can't defend each other. And it should be a relatively straightforward exercise now to convert. So I'm going to start just pushing my pawns up, maybe get them on dark squares, I'm not sure. I can move that one because this one's defended by the rook. Okay. Now rook here means the king is then quarantined in this area of the board, yeah? Also can never be harassed by the bishop. And that really just simplifies things for me. It's less stuff to think about in the endgame. I'm attacking this pawn, which means he's got to put his bishop here to defend it. Okay? Then all I need to do is just push all this gang up here and squish him. And I'm going to do that now to block off these pawns. Now they both are on light squares. The only way for him to defend them all is this. In fact, 1, 2, 3 is the quickest way. That's the same, innit? Okay, that's just spite. He's achieving nothing with that move. I can just counterattack him and say, haha. Check here, I can even just sack the exchange because I have a winning position. Clutching at straws now. Here, you can defend that way. But then his bishop's effectively out of the game. It's not really involved in the ending, it's just locked in there as a permanent defender. Okay, let's attack this. Now you only have one move. And I think we just now push up. Squishy, squishy, squash, squash is the technical term, as they say in former Soviet bloc. I have a check coming. Means king has to go to one of these. Okay. Pushki. Now the king has to get into the square. Oh, okay. Well, that's one way of doing it, but it drops a pawn. Can't do that. If he goes here, I might lift the rook. Hang on. Do I want him in there? Ooh, this. King goes there. A check and king takes, isn't it? I could even do that, actually, maybe too. There, king takes, I push. King goes here. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm thinking he should go in there. I can drop my king back. Then his bishop has got to defend h1. But then maybe what I do is I move my rook and just send Charlie up there as well. Because Charlie could help out here. It's not all down to Harry. Brave little soldier that you are. Do I have this as well, actually? If king goes here. I have this actually defends this pawn with a rook. Right, so rook here. No, 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 no. Forces the king there. Then oh yeah. Oh, baby. Oh yeah. I think we might have something. Okay. Pawn h2. The threat is this with check and then converting, forcing him to give up his bishop. Okay, that pawn is defended, but something like this, I think, yeah? Pawn here, blocking the bishop's view of h1. Still. And because he's got a bishop, there's no stalemate options because the bishop can move. Okay, well this now gets a queen, or unless I first move the rook. Do I just get the queen? If I get a queen, he comes here, I come there. Mate, actually. That's check. He's only got 2 legal moves. This one I think is... Oh no, it's not. He's got that. Ah, come on, Hunty. Sharpen up, bro. King here, queen here. Queen here, and it's no, 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 no. King has to go there. Queen there is mate. That's mate. I think he's forced here. Bosh! Well, I think that was a jolly good game. I'm not going to analyse here. I'm going to grab the PGN. Okay, here we are on the chess.com analysis board, and I'm just going to remove these ELOs. Okay, the reason is because I want it to do an honest appreciation of how well we played, because I think my opponent was well above his 600 rating. Let's go review. $79.3 from white, and I got 87.6. So this is, it doesn't have any starting rating for either of us. So this is its honest appraisal. 1550 from white, 1550, and 1950 from me. I played the middle game better. All right. No blunders. This is good. This we like. Okay, let's have a just quick look at the opening. That's what I'm mainly interested in. So this, yeah, non-Paulson, book move, okay. And I'm slightly better if anything. That's a mistake, and that's a miss. I should have taken. Why? Show me. Well, that's what we kind of saw, isn't it? But for some reason I decided against it. But then we kind of did the same thing a bit later. So instead of taking there, I chose to retreat and keep the pin. He throws in a pointless one move attack. Then I take, and it says, no, that wasn't best hunting. This is, Fish, you really annoy me sometimes. You really do. Okay. That's exactly half a pawn difference. Oh. Yeah, we talked about this, didn't we? Knight takes, hitting the rook. was better. A whole pawn and a half difference, actually. Because queen takes then isn't an option. He has to move the rook. He goes this. King has to move. Yeah. Kind of similar situation to what we ended up in anyway. Anyway, so I took with the queen and forced the queens off the board. I could have taken there, look. Because this pawn's pinned. Yeah, when you block a check, you pin the piece. Yes, it threatens the fort pieces. Computer says it wasn't accurate, but I'm playing against a human. I'm not playing against you, you stupid fish. And it is stupid. I mean, it can calculate like no one's business, but it doesn't understand anything. That's the point. And that's a blunder. Because it falls to this pin. And we win the pawn. And then we go on to win from there. Okay, good stuff, good stuff. I enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it as well. I hope you got one or two things out of it. Thank you for watching. See you soon for the next part.